What if you woke up tomorrow as a scorpion? Not a powerful one, not the legendary kind you see in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs carved in gold beside the gods. No, you wake up as a tiny, pale scorpion, barely the size of a thumbnail, buried under a cracked rock in the middle of the Sahara Desert. No family, no map, no clue what comes next, just heat, sand, and the terrifying silence of a world that is 1,000 times bigger than you. That is where our story begins. And honestly, does that sound familiar to you? Have you ever felt like the smallest thing in the room? Like the world was built for someone else and you just ended up here by accident? Because I have, and so has our hero. His name is Zar, and on the day our story starts, Zar is having what you might call the worst morning of his life. He is freshly born, just hours old, and already his mother is gone. In the scorpion world, that happens. Life does not wait for you to be ready. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But try telling that to a newborn scorpion who has never even used his claws before. Zar does not know his own strength yet. He does not even know he has any. All he knows is hunger and heat and the crushing loneliness of the desert floor. He tries to walk and stumbles. He tries to hunt and misses. A beetle 3 times his size walks right past him and does not even flinch. That is how small Zar is on day 1. That is how invisible. But here's the thing about scorpions, and I want you to really hear this. Scorpions glow under ultraviolet light. Did you know that? In the darkness, when everything else disappears, scorpions shine. Science does not fully understand why, but I think I do. Some creatures are built to be found in the dark. Some beings only reveal their true nature when the world around them goes completely black. Zar does not know this yet, but you already do. The desert is merciless. Days pass like punishments. Zar learns to hide under rocks during the brutal noon heat, not because he is afraid, but because surviving is its own form of intelligence. He learns to feel vibrations in the sand, to sense danger before it arrives. He loses a fight with a lizard and barely escapes with his tail. He goes 3 days without food. He watches a sandstorm erase everything he thought he knew about the landscape. And still, he moves forward, one tiny armored step at a time. This is the part nobody tells you about success. It is not glamorous. It does not come with a soundtrack. It is just you, alone, making the next small decision to keep going when everything is telling you to stop. You know what I admire most about scorpions? They have survived for over 430 million years. They outlived the dinosaurs. They adapted to every climate on Earth: desert, rainforest, mountain, cave. They did not survive because they were the biggest. They survived because they were relentless. Seneca said it best, per aspera ad astra, through hardship to the stars. And if a creature the size of your palm can live by that philosophy, what excuse do we have? Weeks pass. Zar grows, slowly, but he grows. He molts for the first time, shedding his old shell like a bad memory, emerging softer and more vulnerable than before, but already bigger, already more. There is something deeply poetic about that, do you not think? That growth requires you to shed who you were. That becoming something greater means spending a terrifying moment completely exposed, with no armor at all. Now Zar is the size of a thumb. Now the beetles do not ignore him anymore. He discovers his venom not as a weapon of cruelty, but as a tool of precision. He learns that power used wisely is far more effective than power used loudly. He studies the desert like a scholar. He memorizes the wind patterns. He knows exactly which rocks hold water overnight. He builds what no one can take from him: knowledge. And slowly, something shifts in the way the desert looks at Zar. Other scorpions begin to appear.
At first, they challenge him, because that's what the world does when you start getting too confident. But Zar does not fight without reason. He remembers the lizard, he remembers nearly dying, and that memory makes him wise, not fearful. There is a difference. Fear says, stay hidden. Wisdom says, choose your moments. Have you ever had a moment like that, where your past pain became your greatest teacher?
One night, something extraordinary happens. A human researcher, armed with an ultraviolet flashlight, is walking through the desert collecting data. The light sweeps the sand, and there, glowing brilliant blue-green in the darkness, is Zar. Not hiding, not running, just standing there, luminous and impossibly beautiful against the black desert floor. The researcher stops, kneels down, stares. In the Scorpion world, this moment does not mean fame. It does not mean Zar gets a trophy or a YouTube channel. But in a deeper sense, this is the moment Zar is seen, truly, fully seen. The researcher photographs him, studies him, and discovers something astonishing. Zar carries a rare genetic variation, a mutation that makes his venom uniquely structured. A variation that researchers would later use to develop a breakthrough treatment for a neurological disease. One small scorpion, one specific night, one beam of ultraviolet light, and suddenly Zar is no longer just surviving the desert. Zar is changing the world. Albert Einstein once said, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." Zar never tried to become famous. He just tried to live fully, to be exactly and completely what he was built to be. And that was enough. That was more than enough. Years pass in the way desert years do, one heat wave at a time. Zar becomes the largest, most experienced scorpion in 100 square kilometers, not because he fought for territory, but because he understood it. He becomes a quiet legend in that stretch of Sahara. Scientists return season after season to track him. They give him a name in their research papers. They write about his behavior, his adaptations, his survival strategies. Documentary crews come. His image is published in journals. Children in schools thousands of miles away see his photograph and say, "I want to study animals." He never asked for any of it. He was just living his truth, claws forward, tail raised, glowing in the dark. And this is where I want to speak directly to you. Yes, you, watching this right now. Maybe you feel like Zar in the early days, small, overlooked, stumbling on a desert floor that feels way too vast and way too hot for someone like you. Maybe you have been through your own sandstorm. Maybe you have shed your own old shell,